What's up guys, Justin with the Podcast Dojo. I had a lot of fun making the video about reviving Walnut Mall, so I wanted to talk about another abandoned mall and a long forgotten shopping mall here in Richmond, Virginia. I'm of course talking about the original enclosed shopping mall of Richmond, Virginia, the Azalea Mall. Now I have to admit, I think out of all the defunct shopping malls in the Richmond area, this one will be the hardest. So without further ado, let's revive Azalea Mall. So we're going to go back to the old property. This is where we're going to build the Azalea Mall. So obviously we're going to clear all this debris out. Just get rid of it, get all the trash out of there, get rid of all of it. And this parking lot definitely needs to be repaved too. And also this abandoned bank back here, we're going to get rid of that. I think something that might be kind of cool to put in its place, maybe like a Starbucks or something. But either way, that bank definitely needs to go. Now that we have our location settled, just like with Walnut Mall, we are going to build Azalea Mall the same way it was when it closed down. So this makes the mall 200,000 square feet. This actually isn't a bad thing, because this mall will be the hardest to revive, so this really means if it falters, not too big of a loss. Before we talk about stores, let's lay out some groundwork here. As I mentioned in the video of the mall property, we are tearing down the abandoned bank and clearing out the parking lot of all trash and debris. We will of course need to repave the parking lot. Also, I do want to mention the Azalea Garden Center. We will work around them. They have been there for a long time and I do not want to disturb their business. In fact, they worked at the Woolworths at Azalea Mall before it closed. However, I want to consider them as part of the mall, so any financial backing they need, we will take care of them. Now let's move on with our stores and anchors, starting with the anchors. Walnut Mall was about 300,000 square feet and housed about 35 stores in their mall. So while I'm not sure how many stores Azalea Mall ever had, let's lowball it to around 20 stores. For our anchors, I have two ideas. For one anchor, we will have an Ollie's discount store. This is a very low to mid-tier income area, so having a store that isn't prohibitively expensive and also isn't off-putting either should work. For our second anchor, we are going to have a bowling alley. Azalea Mall used to have a bowling alley near it called Azalea Lanes, so we're going to bring that back. For our stores, I have a few ideas. Let's have a 7-Eleven, but not a full-blown gas station, of course. I was thinking it could be something where people could purchase snacks or drinks. Some other stores we can have, let's get some clothing stores in here. I was thinking we could start with Forever 21, Old Navy, and let's put a Carter's in here as well. Azalea Mall was an old mall, so it never had a food court. And with our limited space, let's have one sit-down restaurant and one fast food type place. We already have a lot of fast food options outside of the mall, so I'll add a Five Guys Burgers and Fries, since there isn't one outside of the mall. For our sit-down restaurant, well, I'll let you guys decide. Personally, I think a sports bar would be great here. So should we have a Hooters restaurant or a Buffalo Wild Wings? Let me know down in the comments section below. Back to some of our other stores. I think we should start with a junior anchor in the middle of the mall. I think a Best Buy would be great since the only other electronics place nearby, or at least a store that offers electronics, is Walmart, and this would provide an alternative. As for the rest of the stores, we will attract other stores to the mall by offering all tenants their first 3 months rent-free. There's one final thing we need to cover before we close out. The reason this mall I feel is the hardest to revive in the area. Unfortunately, the area around Azalea Mall has had a reputation for gang activity and drugs. It's even the reason why the mall was demolished in the first place, to prevent the old building from being used as a gang hideout. In fact, when I was trying to film the footage you saw earlier, I was trying to hurry up and get the hell out of there because there was what appeared to be somebody on drugs stumbling my way. With that being said, we really need to emphasize security here. We will install security cameras around the parking lot, as well as around the mall. Instead of just security, I want to have police presence around the mall. Maybe off-duty police officers like Rolling Acres Mall did when they first opened. My overall goal here would be to bring back the memories of Azalea Mall to the people who used to go there, and create new memories for new generations that never got a chance to go there. I want to create a place where people can gather, and hopefully we can make Azalea Mall a little nicer, and the area around it a little nicer as well. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. What do you think? Could this work? Or do you think this is just a disaster waiting to happen? Also, one of my first abandoned locations episodes was on Azalea Mall. I'll leave links and annotations to that in the description below.